Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is StraitOuttaBoston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we are back for some NBA 2K14 action, and we are playing some online ranked matches. This time I'm using the Cleveland Cavaliers. My opponent is using the New York Knicks, and we are going head-to-head in a random online game. But nonetheless, when I play online, I look for teams with good big men. A lot of guys look for teams with good three-point shooters, but I prefer to run bigs. I prefer to go big on teams. I look a lot of the time for the Grizzlies with Marcus All and Zebo. I look at the Spurs a lot of the time because I love using Tim Duncan. But I decided I would try out the Cavs because I realized Andrew Bynum is a very high overall in this game. So they're kind of basing it off of his lockout season, and he was very good in that season. I believe he put up like 18 and 11 or something like that. So he's a very effective center back then. And they also have Anderson Varejao, who, although is really known as a defensive rebounding center, ended up giving us 16 points today. So he kind of came up big for us. But nonetheless, what I want to talk about in this video is, do you guys think the Cavaliers are going to make the playoffs? This is a team that obviously is one of the bright young stars in the NBA, Kyrie Irving, and only, I believe, 21 years old. Was an NBA All-Star last year. Was really feeling it for kind of that month leading up to the All-Star game. But other than that, he was a good point guard. I wouldn't call him a top 5 point guard outside of that month, but he's a very, very good point guard at that point. Obviously, he's only 21 years old. There's room to grow. But other than that, you know, I look at the team that won 24 games last year. Varejao missed a large portion of the season. Other than that, Kyrie was really left with a battered supporting crew, which they've sort of improved on this year. I mean, you know, the Jarrett Jack signing is interesting. I guess they're going to try and close games like the Warriors did last year with Jarrett Jack and Kyrie Irving in the backcourt, but I don't know where that leaves Dion Waiters. I don't really know if you can run a 6'4" Dion Waiters at the 3 spot, but I don't know. It's a little interesting. I don't really see where all the pieces fit in. You know, the Anthony Bennett draft pick was kind of questionable because I really don't think he could play small forward, and then he's just taking minutes away from Tristan Thompson, so a lot of their moves just kind of confused me. And, you know, the Andrew Bynum signing is interesting. I think it has the potential to really work out for them because Bynum was a stud center before his body just betrayed him. But, you know, I don't know if he's ever going to recover from, you know, his knee injuries. And I don't know. I don't think he's going to be a big impact for them. I doubt he plays more than 40 games for them this year. And then, you know, you look at Varejao. Yeah, he got hurt last year, but he always gets hurt. You can't count on him for more than 60 games. And other than that, I just don't really see where a lot of the pieces fit into this team that only won 24 games last year. Now, granted, Kyrie Irving has been hurt in both of his first 2 years, but that's another thing. You can't just say Kyrie Irving is going to be healthy all 82 games, they're going to make the playoffs. Like, you can't count on that. He's been hurt at every, you know, this last full healthy season was his high school senior year. He only played 8 games at Duke and then's been injured in his first 2 years in college. So, you know, it's a lot of what-ifs with this team. If Varejao and Bynum and Irving play 70 games, you know, each, and their full strength of those 70 games, yeah, this team's probably going to make the playoffs. That's a pretty talented group of people. But other than that, I just don't really get the Jarrett Jack signing. You committed 4 years to a guy at that price who's just going to be a backup. Kind of confuses me. I don't really like committing long-term money to a backup player like that. I think you can find those type of players on one-year deals. Like, I look at Shaun Livingston, who's a guy who had a very good year for them last year as a backup point guard. And I just feel like, why couldn't you have just given him less money and have him do exactly what Jarrett Jack's going to do for you? But nonetheless, I just don't really see with this team. I look at the 24-win team and I say maybe their additions get them 10 more wins this year. That gets them to 34 wins. I don't think that's going to make the playoffs this year in the Eastern Conference. I know the Eastern Conference is very weak most of the years, but they have some teams that are really vying for those 7th and 8th seeds this year, like the Wizards, the Raptors, the Hawks, the Bucks even. I think could get up there. And I think that the tanking teams and the kind of the bottom of the East are going to actually bump everyone's record by a couple of wins. So I really don't see the Cavaliers getting into the playoffs with like a 34-win team. And I don't know. I just don't see it. I mean, if they all stay healthy, sure, maybe. But I'm not counting on any of those guys playing more than 70 games. I look at the rest of the team. It's pretty much the same as it was last year. I know that you get Dion Waiters a year further progressed. Same thing with Kyrie Irving. But I don't know. We'll see if Kyrie Irving can like take a leap defensively. I don't know what else he has to do. He's a very all-around offensive player. But other than that, you know, Dion Waiters, I just don't have great hopes for him. But nonetheless, that's my personal opinion. I don't think the Cavs are going to make the playoffs. But let me know what you guys think. Tell me in the comment section below. I'll be looking at the comments. All these videos posted up on GFS. But let's kind of get into this gameplay as it's almost over. We're in the 4th quarter. I'm up by 18 points. Raymond Felton hits a 3 right there, so it's down to 15. He's trying to come back here with some 3-pointers. But me, you know, he kept running this full court press, and like guys would be open under the basket all the time. Kyrie Irving is so quick; he could just get by everyone. I mean, it was, you know, I don't know why he was doing it. It's just like very confusing. But Earl Clark guarding Melo, he cannot do that. Earl Clark is an okay defender, and Melo just too much for him right there. Earl Clark though giving it to Dion Waiters in the corner for 3, and Dion Waiters is gonna knock that one down. He is not a strong 3-point shooter, but he's good in the corners, as most people are who are not really strong 3-point shooters, and he's gonna rage quit. He had enough at that point. So I'm gonna leave you guys with the player stats as well as the team stats or whatever, and that's pretty much gonna do it. So let me know what you guys think, if the Cavaliers will make the playoffs or not. Like I said, I voiced my opinion. Let me know yours. I'm always interested in getting in some like NBA debates. You know, I always like talking NBA. Although it's hard to talk about it over the internet sometimes because people get like really offended when you don't agree with them. But hey, I mean, to each his own, I guess. But nonetheless, you can take a look at the Cavs stats right here. We got 16-7 out of Varejao, 10-6 out of Bynum, 15-8 out of Irving. Really good performances by all 3 of those guys. You can take a look at the Knicks stats right here. I'm talking too fast. But nonetheless, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video for me. I'll leave you guys with the player of the game highlights. That's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. I'm out.